my feel-good breakfast show.
If you struggle with fatigue, there might be a myriad of reasons for that, like maybe lifestyle or health factors. Andrea du Plessis is here this morning to help us understand what brings about fatigue and what we can do to combat it. Good morning, Andrea. How are you?
Hi, good morning. Good, thanks.
So I'm sure that you get this question all the time, but what brings about fatigue?
Well, firstly, I do get this question all the time. I mean, it's the most often asked question on my Facebook page. I think many people struggle with fatigue, and I certainly can't offer all the explanations for fatigue, because sometimes there are medical reasons. If you think of diseases like diabetes, or if you think of side effects of medication, etc. But there are a few factors that are quite obvious that contribute to fatigue that we can control.
All right. So what are some of the tests that we can do to discover the underlying factors of fatigue?
Well, I think the first thing when somebody asks me a question on fatigue is they want to know what supplement they can use. And I always say, let's find out a few things first, because low blood pressure and low iron levels are some of the major contributors to the sensation of fatigue. And blood pressure is something that's very simple to have tested. And the silly thing with low blood pressure is you may be completely well rested, well nourished, fit, strong, but your low blood pressure is going to make you feel tired.
Absolutely. Well, I do suffer from low blood pressure from time to time. So for me, it would be a good thing to first identify what is it that's going through my body, what's going on in my body before I start taking supplements or maybe looking at my diet, right?
That's right. You know, and with low blood pressure, there's something you can do about that. There's a herb called ginseng. Now, ginseng is a herb that's often used for its energy boosting properties, and that's why they've added into a product like the Vitacharge.
Wonderful.
So I should introduce you to this product.
Yes, please.
So,
thank you. I'm keeping it.
You're welcome to.
Thank
Individuals that suffer with fatigue due to low blood pressure often report back that they feel so much more energized, or they just feel like a normal person again, you know?
So wonderful. Besides the supplementation, what can we do, or what foods can we introduce in our diets to help fight fatigue and boost energy levels? And are there foods that also, you know, help to make us more fatigued, if you can say that?
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because I think one of the first things we reach for if we feel really tired is a glass of cola drink or a cup of coffee, because the sugar and the caffeine spikes that energy levels.
And we have lots of coffee here in the morning, you know this.
That's right. I mean, you have to do what you need to do. But the sad thing is that even though it gives you that spike in your energy, it will drop you like a potato afterwards, you know?
True.
So lots of caffeine is not going to help sustain your energy levels. So I've prepared some green tea especially for you.
Wonderful.
So the green tea definitely is a healthier alternative. And that's something that you can drink instead of a cup of coffee.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So this is a much better alternative, green tea, because I think most of us are used to going for the things that are going to give us those quick spikes, but like you said, we'll crash just as quickly.
That's right.
Go for something like green tea.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful.
And
what
while
else?
we're talking about sustained energy, the low GI, Vital's low GI muesli is definitely the one. I'm sure you've tried it.
We have it every single morning, you and I.
Yes, so it just sustains your energy levels so much longer. And there's raisins in there, even though there's no sugar added, the raisins provide something sweet, so it's not an unpleasant muesli. It's actually my favorite one. So that's another dietary tip. And the one test that you should also go for if you suffer with fatigue and you don't really know the reason is iron levels, which I mentioned in the beginning. So if your body's iron stores are low, it's important to have that tested through a blood test. And if your iron stores are low, the simple thing is you take an iron supplement, and that helps to restore your iron levels.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Well, if you are also suffering from fatigue, hopefully this has given you some invaluable advice on how to deal with it. If it is affecting you, you can still ask Andrea very specific questions. If you want to, you can get in touch with her at on her Facebook page at Andrea du Plessis Vital Expert.
For 30 Rand a year, you can subscribe to the Vitalize magazine and receive nutritional advice, fitness tips and amazing recipes. Visit vital.co.za today.